As promised, here is Chapter 2, and me telling you the story of the lore
of Warhammer 40,000.
Now, in Chapter 1, I introduced you to both the Emperor
and his early genetically modified super soldiers, the Thunder Warriors,
which he used to unify Earth. But Earth was in a terrible state. It was horribly irradiated, polluted, etc., and it was run by despotic warlords. But how did it get there? Well, to answer that, we have to peel back the veils of time. According to the official timeline of the Imperium of Man, humanity had colonized all of our solar system and began what was called the Solar Exodus.
As humanity was not capable of light-speed travel, they were called Long March colony ships, as in they were at sublight speeds and would take generations to reach other worlds.
And this meant that those far-flung colonies had no actual communication with the solar system, and there was no such thing as really an interstellar empire of Earth. Well, by the 15th millennium, faster-than-light travel, or FTL travel, had been invented.
But it came at a cost.
The way that we developed our faster-than-light travel was by actually splitting the veil between dimensions and traveling through one dimension back into ours, basically hop-skipping through and making a shortcut. As it turns out, the dimension that we were traveling into was essentially hell. Shortly after that, the Geller field technology was developed, and it created a bubble of real space around our ships that allowed them to travel through this hell dimension untouched, more or less. So now that we actually had faster-than-light travel, that began what was called the Age of Technology. And the first human interstellar civilization was born. Now, the period between the 15th and the 25th millennia saw a massive rise in human technology. In fact, we became pretty much the lords of the galaxy in our area because our technology advanced so fast. And in that process, we developed AI, artificial intelligence, and the very first
Men of Iron were created.
Now, the Men of Iron did all of our menial tasks for us. They did all the labor, all the work, all the fighting, and it allowed us to pursue other goals. Two other very important advances that took place in that time were the invention of what was called the STC, or the Standard Template Construct.
This was a machine that pretty much allowed us to go to all of our far-flung colonies, and it had blueprints and designs for every single component or thing that we would ever need to survive.
It's pretty much the sum total of our technology in one convenient package. Now, the other is either an invention or a discovery, depending on who you ask. Early on in the Age of Technology, first human psychers were discovered. Now, human psychers were people capable of psychic or telekinetic powers, and they drew their power from that dimension that we use to do interstellar travel. We referred to it at that time as the Immaterium or the Warp. Now, during the Age of Technology, the very first
navigators were put to use. Now, the navigators had a third eye in the center of their head, and it allowed them to navigate through the warp safely, giving us the ability to travel even further.
At some point at the end of the 25th millennia, that AI that we had depended on so much rebelled and led to the Age of Strife. I could follow for more.